All right, welcome back, everyone. This is the third and final part of the AllTrails UI clone series. We basically have a functional app at this point. Well, not functional app, but we have a functional UI at this point. So this is a little bit of a shorter stream, focus on some of the polishes. We make some changes to the bottom menu. We implement the picture like pager to swap between different pictures of the trail. It's a lot of fun. Cover some of the little more niche UI functionality of the screen, and I hope you all like it. Here we go. We are not doing Quidditch Champions again today, unfortunately. We're back to our regularly scheduled coding streams. We are just an early heads up, but I'll try to remember this at the end. I'm actually leaving on a vacation this week, so I'm not going to stream next Wednesday. Maybe later in the week, we'll see. But next Wednesday, I'll be driving back, so I won't get a chance to stream. But this will probably be the last stream / hopefully YouTube video of the AllTrails UI clone. So the first time we set up the scaffolding, last week we worked on this nice little list item here. We added like the specific trail item, as well as this like group idea here that would show like a collection of trails as the idea. And then we also added that little floating action button that animates open and closed as you scroll, which was pretty cool. And so what I want to do today is just do a little bit of polishing on this compared to the actual AllTrails app. So if I switch over to the actual one, you can see, we did okay matching this. A couple noticeable differences when you put them side by side, I guess. But a couple things on this one that I wanted to play around with. I may want to go revisit the bottom navigation to make it look more customizable. Yo, Joe, hi, welcome in. McChicken, I love it. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're having a great night. Fix this bottom nav, make it look more like this one, as well as the image pager, not the map thing. I'm not focused on that right now. I think the image pager would be fun to look at, and I think that's where I want to start today. Because if we look at our version, this image does nothing. Let me turn on in my settings. Let me find it. Because y'all can't see the touches. Yo, Joe with the follow, and yo, that is 1,300 followers. A huge milestone. Thank you all. I cannot believe there are 1,300 people who have followed this channel. That's ridiculous. All right, hold on. Let's go into, what am I looking for here? Where are developer options? How's it been in Airbnb? It's been pretty good. I've been there a little over a month so far. I like it. I've, fixed a couple things, broke a couple things, all to be expected. I thought there was show taps. There we go. Now you can see my little dot, which helps when I'm like pointing to stuff. There we go. Nice. So now you can see kind of when I'm like hovering, what I'm actually trying to point out. So the image pager, right now, it doesn't do anything. So that's what we're gonna fix first. Now, before this all started, I did whip together one quick class. I saved a couple images, and I just threw together a random generate function to give me like a random image. So, but I wonder, kind of thinking instead of doing that, I kind of want it to just give me like 3 random images, or maybe we could do 4. Let's do like let's do something like this instead. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say like let's rename this. Let's call this like trail images generator. we'll throw, whoops, we'll throw this in there. And then we could have like generate could be a list event, and we could just do return images that shuffle, and that will give me some random images. Um, so we don't have to get the same ones for each list item, which would be kind of nice. Um, so let's go to trail list item. Because we don't actually, because this is just a silly UI clone, we're not actually passing in like any specific trail, right? Like you can see here, they're all just hard coded. So we can keep that, but we can change the images with this little helper function that we just made. So let's look at our image container. Right now it is a box, and it's got the trail image, a bookmark icon, and the pager indicator. So trail image right now is just a single image. This should actually be a pager. So, right, we should convert to a pager. So let's do that. So we'll do a small thing here. We will have this be trail images, and then have this consume a list of image resources. So let's do this. So let's do horizontal pager. State can be remember pager state. This gives me a page count, which is image revs list as size. We'll need to opt into this. And what we'll do for each page is we'll just throw in an image. Apparently we don't even give this a modifier. ID will be image rev list for this page index. I think that's all we got to do is wrap this in a horizontal pager. Images, so we'll do trail image generator, generate, and we'll pass in the images. Let's try this out as an incremental step before we modify the pager indicator. Okay, interesting that both of these first ones, oh no, they didn't start with the same one, it just looked like it. Okay, it is working. I get all 4 of the same images in a random order. Okay, progress, pretty quick. So we just, for our pager indicator, we'll do, I see. So one problem is we're going to have to pull up the pager state. We're going to have to hoist this up. We're going to hoist up the pager state here. Because our current page index is going to be pager state that current page. Total pages is going to be, can I get this from? Yeah, page count. And that should be how we connect this pager indicator with this pager state. That should be actually pretty quick. So let's find out. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. All right. That okay. What caused that? Um yeah, that was a fun one. Okay, let's think about this for a second. I'm wondering if something was causing this to recompose, but I don't know what it would be. Um I have the pager state inside. Well, yeah, because I want the pager state to be referenced. Well, I don't think so, because the pager state. We can actually check that, can't we? I think we can get some of that. Yo, Big Boat, thank you for the follow. Hope you're having a great night. Um, okay, hold on. Yeah, all right. So the entire thing is recomposing just repeatedly. So why? Um, yeah, do I need to remember the images? Like, do I need to do these just once? Like, do I need to make these, or I could like pass them in to the. Okay, yeah. So it probably had to do with like it recomposing and then regenerating the images. But I wonder actually if, I mean, that worked. Oh, sorry, you can't see it. That worked. Um, but oh my god, wait, you still can't see it properly because I have the layout inspector selected. But I'm telling you, it worked. Okay, wait, it did work when I was testing this a second ago. Hold on. Yeah, so it did work. So it's probably because this the entire set of images. Oh, because this is a random list, right? So if if this is getting regenerated every time, then I have a new list every single time. And that is why it's spazzing out because it's just constantly generating a new set of 4 images. Yeah, exactly. So I'm still surprised that this whole thing, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that this whole thing gets recomposed when the pager state changes. I wonder, I'm curious if pulling this up a level, like before even setting up the box, if that's enough. Because I think it being scoped here might have been part of the problem. Because I usually don't, I've done like random UI stuff before and I've never quite seen that. So I think it has to do with where I'm putting that. Nope. Okay, it is. The whole thing does get recomposed. Okay. I'm curious why that is, but um I think this is probably fine for now. All right, so we'll just keep that remember in there. Um and our pager indicator does update accordingly. All right. I dig it. Okay. So that's how you throw together a pager in Compose. Super quick, kind of nice that they have it built in that easily. Implementing image pager on trail list item. Um, so I'm actually, even though stream just started, um, I want to look into. I can do this right from. Oh, right, I can do this right from Android Studio, but I don't try this often. Let's try it out. Um, Adding horizontal pager to image list and showing a random list of images for each item. Manually tested. I'm not going to screenshot this. Hell yeah. Wow, that's actually pretty convenient. That's the first time I've like clicked that icon and created the pull request right from Studio. But that's super nice. All right. So even though stream just started, um, and I mentioned that one of the things I wanted to try was updating this bottom bar to maybe be more like the AllTrails one. I actually want to go down the rabbit hole of trying something a little more complicated while I have the time, which is if we look at this one, um, there's a solo repo. Yeah, that's fair. Um, I like just splitting up my chunk. So I don't know how well this comes through in the um, actual stream because sometimes my frame rate's a little weird. But you may notice that this text right here animates every once in a while, and it will just scroll from one word to another. And I have no idea off the top of my head how to do this. I have like some slight ideas, but I want to see if we could build this just for fun, because I think that would be an interesting challenge. So I'm going to set up a new branch for that as well. So I'm going to go back to development. Um, and we're going to do search input animation. And maybe we'll try StudioBot Gemini, see if we can get some inspiration for this. So I'm actually going to start there. Um, I love how one of the top suggestions for Gemini is changed to dark mode. Uh, Fun fact, if you subscribe to the channel, the theme on my device automatically switches between light and dark mode. So, if your eyes are burning, hit me with that sub, hit me with that prime sub, it'll switch into dark mode automatically. All right, so we're gonna ask StudioBot how to animate text changes in a text composable to appear as if it is scrolling. No idea if this is gonna how well this is gonna work out. But I don't want marquee. Marquee is a. I am using the Canary version. Yeah. Okay. We got some. So Jetpack Compose doesn't have a built-in modifier for this. Um, but you can achieve this effect using a combination of animatable launched effect and a column with a fixed height. So we have a text offset, we have our text sized, launched effect based on the text offset dot animate to. Um, and an animation spec. It looks like this will repeat, which could be fine for testing sake. But then we have a column, height is fixed, clip, vertical scroll. I don't know that we'd actually need this, but then we have a text component and we just give it the modifier offset. I think this is actually pretty close. I couldn't phrase the question exactly like what I wanted, but Um, let's see if we can ask Studio Bot. So, can we adapt this? Also, let me see. This might be hard for y'all to see. So let's move this to left side as well. Um, can we adapt this to scroll from one word to another when the text changes? Because I think what they've written is like on the right track, but not quite. We can adapt the vertical scrolling animation to translate smoothly between words when the text changes. Instead of animating the entire text block, we'll animate the offset of individual words within a flow row. Would rather use animated content? And just what, like modify the enter exit animation? Because I don't think animated visibility is what I want. But I'm not super familiar with animated content. Oh, you do get like a target state here. Um, you also have the next link in the search from Rebecca with samples. Ooh. So here's just the default, but I assume animated content gives me some parameters to work with. So let's try this. Let's try building a let's make our own scrolling text composable real quick that we can reuse for this. We'll take in some text. All right, so let's try to figure this out from the docs here. So we've got animated content. Target state can be our text. Um, but let's look at the animated content. We do have a transition spec where I could probably modify the. Okay, so there's a whole thing here. So this is fade in plus scale in together with fade out. What is together with? Is that like, oh, so that's an enter and an exit together. Take a look. The animation is super easy with animated content. You just have to make the text change over time. Okay, let's take a look at this. I don't have sound parsing through from my MacBook, but I can turn on closed captioning, but we can also look at the text here. Oh, okay, so this is kind of the idea. So animated content. Yeah, okay, so the transition spec is what they changed. Add animation. Okay, right. So I see. So they did a similar thing here. So they have slide in vertically with slide out vertically. They set the height to negative height. Okay, so the RLCS World Championship starts next Tuesday on the 10th, and it goes until Sunday the 13th or 14th, whatever that Sunday is. Okay, so um, so let's try building this out here. So we'll do a similar thing. Um, so let's write this out one by one. I'm not going to it this year. Um, uh, I went to the last time they had Worlds in Dallas 2 years ago. Um, couldn't do it this year, unfortunately. Okay, so let's see this. So enter transition. So when it enters, we're gonna slide in vertically. Um, so I'm gonna put in some defaults here, and then we're gonna talk about it. Um, this is gonna be slide in vertically plus fade in, and then exit transition is gonna be slide in vertically, right, plus fade out. Why are you red? Oh, because I guess this could be slide out vertically. Um, and then so return, enter transition together with exit. Okay, so let's talk about these real quick. So slide in vertically. What does this need from us? Slides the content in vertically from a starting offset defined in initial offset to 0 in pixels. Okay, so if I wanted to slide in top down, the initial offset here is actually negative height. Yes, because if the offset was the height, then it would, like, it's down is positive when we talk about the y offset. So if it's a positive number, that means I'm starting here and going to 0. But if I start negative and go to 0, I'm going top down. And that's what we want to match, right? If we look at this real quick, when oh no, okay, they do it backwards. I thought it went one way. No, they do it backwards. It does come in from the bottom. Okay, so we can use height. So we're going to start at the bottom and slide up while fading in. And when we slide out, this should be our target offset. So if we set this to negative height, it means we're going to start here and slide upward plus fading out. I think this will be good. So then transition spec will be our animation. Um, so what is the duration for these? What did they do here? They gave it an animation spec between. This is a spring. Is there no like duration on this? Um, not on a spring, I guess. Um, I feel like we're gonna want a larger duration, but I don't know yet. Let's start by just seeing if we could prove that this works. So we're gonna go back to our search input, and this will actually be a little tricky to prove. So, oh right, we used the search bar, which takes in the query directly, which means I don't have control over the text component. Like I can't animate this myself. Is there a placeholder on this? I thought we looked at that last time and oh, there it is. Okay. All right, I'm done. I thought this wasn't here for some reason when we looked at it last time. Um, so then query, I probably need to make this empty in order for placeholder to show up. Okay, let's run this really quick to make sure it shows up, even though this won't actually scroll anything yet. I just want to make sure that like it still shows up. Okay, So we do see our find trails. And that's clearly a placeholder because the cursor starts at the front. Okay. So now we need to figure out how to change this every so many seconds. Um, just do a launched effect and then every second change the value. That makes sense. Okay, so let's do, but let's think, so what do they do here? So there's like trails, parks. What else do they have? I want to find like trails, parks, cities. Okay, it's literally those three. Okay, so let's see if we can go with Kotlin's idea, but um, make this a little more customizable. Oh no, I forgot to turn, did I forget to turn it back on? Hold up. We can do cube solve. Oh, you know why? Because I was streaming Quidditch Champions last night, and I didn't want to be interrupted. So we should have it now. Um, you were personally targeted, actually. Um, okay, so all right, we'll do a cube solve in a second. I want to write this down. Trails, parks, cities. Okay, we're gonna come back to that in a second. Let's do a cube solve. So, oh man, I am rusty because it's been a while. So, for those of you who are new to this channel and haven't seen this, the way this is gonna work is I'm gonna set up a prediction. I don't have an average to go off of, so we'll use whatever we had last time. I'm gonna set up a prediction, and y'all get to guess, how fast I could solve the cube. It looks like last time we were at 29 seconds, so we're going to keep that. I'm going to let it run for 5 minutes, but I am going to do a few practice runs. So you don't have to get your bets in right away. I will let y'all know when I am switching to the one that is for the money. I try to do it about 30 seconds or so out from when the prediction's up, so you can get your bets in. But you're welcome to wait and see how I'm doing, or you can get your bets in right away. That's totally up to you. Um, but you've got 5 minutes now. Let's do our first one and see how we're feeling. Yeah. It has been a minute. Um yeah, I totally forgotten what I'm doing. All right, let's just start solving. What's the worst that could happen? Oh no, that was the wrong one. All right, cool. That's our warm up. Okay, that's a warm up. All right, let's get another one here. This one should hopefully be a little faster. Hopefully, the idea is that I've gotten some stuff working. Okay, shaved off 6 seconds. Close to where the betting line is, which is how it should be. The idea is that I keep this as close as possible to whatever my current average is, so that, it's that if I keep it at my average, then we know there's a good 50-50 chance um, for each prediction, because I don't want it to be like something that I mostly win, mostly lose. Y'all get the idea. You believe in me? That makes one of us. Okay, about the same. About the same. How much time we got left? 1 minute? All right. Since I'm not going super fast, I'm gonna shuffle this one, but the next one is for the money, so get your predictions in. Um, I do not feel like I could get another practice run in before the timer's up, so get your bets in. We'll do the next one. Will I continue to go over 30, or will the speed come through out of nowhere? That is the question. Oh man. Maybe it averaged 1 minute because it's taken a while. But I said it, so I'm gonna stick to it. We're gonna wait for the timer to run out. 40 seconds. Get ready for the longest 40 seconds as we wait to see what'll happen. I guess I'll spend my time taking some peeks. Okay. 17, 16, 15. When it gets to 10, I'm just gonna start. Because there's no point. It's not like I'm gonna be done before that. All right. Oh, we are over. Dang. I was sweating. I was trying. I don't have what I used to. Embarrassing. The overs win. Wow, and y'all were split 50-50. What would Dan Campbell do? Probably go for it on fourth and long. Um, oh, Windows, what are you doing? Okay, so we want to keep track, so we're going to cycle through this. So we'll have like type index by remember mutable state of 0. Oh, gotta hydrate. Cheers. Okay. And we'll steal that idea. So launched effect unit, and we'll basically do like while true. Whoa, hold on. I just auto completed what I got from Gemini, but can we talk about the fucking mathematics wizardry we just got here? So type index is type index plus 1 mod the options.size. So that is how it's automatically gonna go back to 0. Because like 0 plus 1, 1 mod 3 is 1, 2 mod 3 is 2, but 3 mod 3 is 0. So this simple little one-liner is basically creating a counter that resets itself. That is really clever. And that is one of the few examples where sometimes you can learn really cool things from using this AI. But all right, so then our placeholder then is going to be find type options, type index. Now, I do think this is incomplete because this is going to scroll the entire text, not just what has changed. Okay, 1 second is kind of fast. The first time I've seen the simulator on the left part of the screen. Yeah, I don't typically work this way, but I've started doing it while streaming because then y'all can see it. As opposed to when it was over here, the bottom of the emulator gets hidden and I kept having to move it around and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna pin this to the left. Okay, let's change this duration actually to 2 seconds. I can see it working on the phone, but I don't know if it's coming through very well in the recording. But it is moving the entire text component. We can do some stuff with this though. So let's do, to make this a little easier to see. We can set the duration, we can default to 300. Well, you know what, we're gonna default this to like, let's do 500 just to slow this down. For our slide in vertically, we're gonna want animation spec. Well, actually, we can be consistent here. We can do tween. Shoot. Okay, I guess we can't do it for all of them because it's kind of implied. So tween, duration millis. You're really expecting an integer? Oh my god. And so we're gonna steal that and put it here. Nice. Nice. And let's do, yeah, okay, let's just do this. And hopefully this comes through better on the recording. Ooh, that actually looks a lot nicer. Personally. How's that coming through for you guys? Does it look choppy? Because it looks choppy to me in OBS, but I don't know if that's like my PC slowing down or what. But it's working well for me. I don't think it's coming through well. Something we can check is we could run this on an emulator to see if that is recorded better. Because it's possible that some of the animation looks choppy through the debugging. Okay, I think that actually looks better for y'all. I think that's coming through better. But y'all can see the problem with it is that it's animating the whole thing, not just the one piece of text that we care about. But I think we can solve for that by basically just putting 2 text components next to each other, which sounds hacky. But no, I actually think that's how it should be. Because I don't think there's any other way to do it. I'm not going to write a custom text component that knows one thing is consistent and one isn't. So we're just going to go to our placeholder. We're going to do a row here. We'll do text, where the text is fine with a space. The space is important because that's just going to give us the buffer between this and this, which now we drop that and we just throw in this string. Whoop, not toolbox. Oh yeah, there we go. That was not nearly as complicated as I thought it would be. And this could probably be this logic for like picking the word. I guess you kind of have to do all these things. Maybe there's like a slightly cleaner way to do it, and maybe it shouldn't belong inside this search input. Honestly, this is probably something that you would put like up in your view model. Animate each one independently with a different duration, just like slot machines. Honestly, a slot machine in Compose, that could be a fun little animation challenge one day. Okay. Wait, do I need to give you content? I do. That's annoying. Oh, because I guess that's the point of the search thing. Okay, nice. All right, let's make this. So get commit. We'll say animating search input placeholder. Let's make this pull request. Animating the search input text to match existing AllTrails functionality. I know, it looks so good. I want to go like add this to some other stuff now. That just came together really nicely. And that duration actually is like perfect for this. I feel like I could make this like a tad longer now that I've got like it's switching kind of fast by comparison. I also noticed it changed as soon as it ran. It goes to parks right away. So I actually think in this case, we might want to delay first so that the first value of trails sits there for 3 seconds. And now we animate. And then it's actually about every 2.5 seconds when you consider the animation itself takes half a second. Yeah. All right. Let's make that update real quick. Updating duration change. Yep. All right, let's merge the pager one. This should build fine, so I'm just gonna optimistically merge this. All right, so let's check out development. Let's run this to make sure it still looks good. So we've got the animation, and we've got a pager with random images. Is that buggy, or is the image wrong? Oh, the image is like that. Hold on. How did I not catch that earlier? Oh, I think it's this one. I think the image is just small. Wait, but I'm pretty sure our image is crop. Did I download an image with... I can't tell if the white is part of the image. Well, it should, because the content scales crop. So it's almost like that white is part of the image, but I don't know how to prove that. You're gonna get a free switch to dark mode. Okay, no, it's not there. Unless it's like a transparent. But I don't think so. I think it's just not scaling properly. But it's only that one image, which is why I feel like the image itself is buggy. Well, let's try to find a different one. We can... we'll just replace this. We'll call it Valley, even though it's not. We'll just replace it and see if this looks better. I'm going back to dark mode. Or light mode. Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, maybe something was funky with the image aspect ratio compared to what I'm trying to do here. So we could definitely blame the image. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, though, what else do we want to do to fix up the polish? I was thinking about the bottom navigation, and let me talk about why in a second. Bottom polish. So when I set out to do this, we just used some default material components, right? For a few different things, including the bottom navigation, which is totally fine. I don't see anything wrong with like the material bottom navigation. I'm gonna switch back to the device, just for an example. There's definitely nothing wrong with the material bottom navigation, but when I look at this, like again, we're not trying to mirror AllTrails necessarily, but I want to look at the material bottom bar and I want to see how customizable is this component. Like, and if we wanted something like this, could we use material as a starting point, or would we have to build something custom to make this work? That's the question I want to go into. Hold on. Oh, we have a suggestion. You could add animation between the image swipe and make the fade when changing so you don't have the lines difference between them. What do you mean? Like, what animation would you change? So you're saying, oops, I'm losing this. You're saying instead of having this like direct cutoff, that like maybe the size would animate or something? Of course, I'm not running the latest on this. Um, Not sure I understand. Like, because what would happen when you're like partway through? Because I understand, I've seen that idea if you have like a carousel where like one thing shrinks while the other one grows in, but while they're both inside this box, I don't know what I would do differently. If you could find a GIF somewhere of something else that's like similar to this, we could try it. Um, you're right though that the AllTrails one does look like a Material 2 bottom bar. So maybe that's part of. Maybe it's not customizable, but let's see what we can find out. AT bottom bar. Specifically, like something I was thinking about is like we have this highlight, and really the big thing is like, can we change that highlight or get rid of it even? Let's see. We can remove highlight. So navigation bar item. Oh, nice. And there's always show label is optional. Is it in colors? Well, so there's an indicator color. Would I basically just want to make the indicator color null? Um, well, let's keep digging into this, but let's keep digging into the source, see if we can find it. Um, styled label, we're gonna ignore that. Um, so this box has everything, okay. This entire item is selectable, but only the indicator pill shows the ripple. To achieve this, we remap the coordinates of the item's interaction source into the coordinates of the indicator. So, but if I remove the interaction source, I'm pretty sure that I lose most functionality. So the answer is probably that if we want to customize this too much, if we truly wanted some custom icon and text setup like this, that we'd probably want to. It is in the colors. Yeah, so I guess like I know um there's selected indicator color, so I guess I would probably just make this transparent or undefined. Let's find out. Maybe it's that simple. Um, let's try this out. Uh, colors will be um selected indicator color. Wait. Huh. This one is where they're all unspecified. Oh wait, okay, it does do these copy. I feel like I don't want to do that one because I don't want everything to be unspecified. So I think we want to do colors here and then copy and then indicator color can be colored at unspecified. Let's run it, let's see what we get. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, unspecified probably gets overwritten to a default, but transparent makes it disappear. Okay. So this is a little closer then, but so let's clarify that. So colors without indicator. We're going to use colors without indicator. So that worked, but now we've lost the ability to tell what is selected, which is fine because if we look at this, that basically means we need to highlight the icon and highlight the text better, which we can absolutely do. So how do we want to do that? Well, um, I don't know what color this is using. I wonder if I could tell what our local content color is here. It's probably inside here. Styled label. Label text font. Oh wait, so it does label medium. Oh wait, it's in the colors? Oh right, selected icon color. Wait, I'm looking at these things, I'm just a little confused because there is a selected icon color, but I feel like it's hardly different from the unselected icon color. So what if we tried changing that too? What if we said selected icon color? What if we tried directly on surface? Maybe it's the same. I feel like it's hardly different. Like it's definitely subtle. Like I do feel like it's a little different. I wonder if light mode would make this more obvious. Oh, let me make sure this is even working because I'm like unconvinced real quick. Is it just really close that my eyes are playing tricks on me? Okay, my eyes are just playing tricks on me. That's the debug spirit. Hell yeah. Okay, so it's just that the on surface compared to whatever is um unselected, which is on surface variant. So in our theme, I just don't think there's enough of a difference between on surface and on surface variant. Um, let's look at whoops. Oh, because it's literally using. Are we using dynamic? I don't. Are we using dynamic? We probably are. We definitely are. So that could be part of it. Um, because maybe in the dynamic theme, it's just not. No, okay. I'm gonna go back to my first thought. On surface variant are just not contrasted enough for me to see a difference. I want to look at this old one. Yeah, it's very similar. Okay. So we know that there is a difference. We can be confident that there is a selected color and an unselected color, but in our case, they're not different enough. So if we were to compare it to here, well, I mean, here it's sort of, this is so dark that like it's fine, but let's go back to this real quick. Material theme dot color scheme dot. Let's try this real quick. Selected icon color, selected text color. Let's run this really quick. I want to look at this one more time because I might be onto something here. Too much, too much. Oh my god, you know what? We're gonna do it this way. We're gonna use the preview because this will be so much easier to work with. Okay, so how do we get more contrast? Well, something we could do is we could basically, yeah, Gemini knows what I was going for. Unselected color could be, the selected color copied with like a a smaller alpha. So we could do this. And that's still barely noticeable, but if we go even smaller, there we go. Now we can see this is pretty noticeable. So let's run this on the device and see how that looks. Okay. So it's definitely still subtle, but I feel like this is more clear now. Um which one is selected and which one is not selected. Um we could even do something like we could go another step on this, I think. On our label, we could say font weight could be something like font weight dot bold, but we could do like tick if selected. So we bold the selected one. Now, I wonder if we can go a step further. I want to do something. Oh, okay. I wonder if we could do something like changing the icon if it's selected. But that would be sort of outside the scope of the UI clone. But if we did want to match this, what we could do is we could do search. I wanted to see if there was like a filled search. That's the same. Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if there's like similar to how they have like a filled explore icon. Let me show you this on their device on their app real quick. So explore is filled in here, but like they're all filled in when they're the selected ones. But I don't think we have like that's probably a custom thing they have set up. Um, so I'm not too worried about that actually. We can roll with this where we've gotten rid of the indicator. We still got the hover one and when I tap on it, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that being there. I believe we could probably turn that off. But I think getting rid of the highlight and just showing how we can tweak these colors is close enough to what I wanted to do here. So let's update that real quick. So bottom nav polishes. Um, Yo, I just got gifted a sub over in Widow's chat. I'm gonna have to go say hello after this. Maybe we'll go raid Widow if she's still on when I'm done. All right. Oh, I'm sitting here waiting even though this was already done. Um, so removing indicator and setting a custom text icon color based on selected state. I'm just gonna get rid of all this. This is not that important for this project. Um, yeah, so the white was definitely not on this image, but maybe something was going on with the aspect ratio that it couldn't quite do what we wanted. Okay, so let's look at this pager again. We'll do. I'm gonna keep doing stuff on new branches just so we can highlight them. We can look at this page for animation idea real quick. So let's go into trail list item. Let's go look at the docs for horizontal pager real quick. So we have fling behavior. I was looking to see if there was some sort of page change animation. I mean, it could be this fling behavior. Well, no, actually, I think what we'd have to do, actually, if you want to do things like fading out and in, what I've typically seen is like you would actually use the page offset sort of thing. So what I have seen, so we have the page index, right? And we could do like a mount scrolled. I think we could do something like pager state dot current page offset fraction, or get offset fraction for page. So we could do something like that, and then um and yeah, we could do something like this. Like we could do modify. What if we just try to fade it? So we do alpha is, I don't know, offset fraction. Let's see what this does for us. Okay, wrong way. Because here it's 0. So let's do 1 minus offset fraction. So we default to 1, but as we scroll, okay, close, but then it's like, it works when, for like the item that's left of something, but I think offset fraction can be above 1. So we could do something like, we could wrap like a sort of if statement here. What's the mathy way of doing this? Well, we could do alpha could be if offset fraction less than or equal, it's less than 1, then we use 1 minus offset fraction. Otherwise, well, let's do else if, because what do we do if the offset fraction is 1 exactly? I don't know the answer to that. I guess we could just do this, but here we could do offset fraction minus 1. I think that's how we handle it coming from the other side, I think. Okay, it's still not animating the other. Let's do something. Let's do the classic log statement here. So if page index is equal to 1, we're going to log our offset fraction. Because maybe when the page is coming in for the first time, maybe it's just not there. I don't know. Oh, it's negative. That would make sense that it would be negative. So Could we just do like the absolute value? I think so. Not quite. Oh, I think I want my one minus. Okay, they are simultaneously animating here. It's a little weird. It's a little weird to see them both animate like that, but it is happening. But to answer the main part of your question, Trax, I think this is the idea on how you would do this is you'd basically leverage this offset and then you would know how to modify a page based on that. So if we were doing like a carousel where like each thing was its own, we would then use this to like modify the size and do stuff like that. I guess when you're snapping, it's not like here it looks a little weird, a little bit, but I don't know, maybe I'm getting used to it. I guess we can keep it. The white is kind of jarring, but there's something we could do, which could be like we could do something like I don't know, like we could set a minimum alpha of like 0.25. Can you take a tint from the image? Uh you can. Oh, wait, I don't want that. Oh, I want a max here. Minimum alpha. You can. You can use the like palette API to do that. Wait, I don't want. This didn't do what I thought it would, I don't think. Or maybe it did. Actually, it did. So it never goes fully to white. It's a more subtle fade. Actually, let's keep playing with this. Let's make it a little higher. That gives us like an ever so subtle fade. Like the image is still there, but it's clearly like not the highlight anymore. I think the other thing we can do is we could make this go. No, you know what? No, I actually, this is growing on me. I think I like this. I think I like what we did here. Yeah, I like it too. Um, Customizing alpha and page animation. Let's merge this one. All right. And I think with that, I might call it here. And I will get these up to YouTube soon. Because I think this will be a great little series because we covered a lot of interesting thing in the last few streams. The only other thing I have considered doing, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole tonight because it's already 9 o'clock. But if we look at the AllTrails app, the actual one, this is like a sheet behind all this. So if I swipe this down, I can like see the map. And the same thing happens if I click this map button. I'm sorry the ADB mirroring is so choppy, but building that bottom sheet, that's not really a bottom sheet because it goes behind all of this stuff. Seems like an endeavor that I'm just not well enough versed in. That would probably be its own dedicated thing. Basically, they have the main screen as bottom sheet and always full screen. It seems that way. It seems that way. But I didn't know sheets work that well because don't sheets usually show up on top of everything? But maybe we have better sheet options in Compose. But like I know there's like modal bottom sheet versus like other types of bottom sheets that they have, so I'm sure there's a way to do it. It's definitely a very cool setup, but something that I'd have to spend some more time on that I just don't have the capacity for tonight. Are there any other quick wins for this? I don't think so. So let's just show it off one more time. Actually, let's go back to development because then we'll get all of our changes. And actually, I'm going to run on the emulator again because the emulator showed the animation a little better in the screen mirroring. Also, hey, Jason, hope you're doing well. How was your hike earlier? So we've got our animation. We've got a nice little scrolling fab change. We've got a cool pager with the images fading as we scroll. We tweaked the bottom bar to sort of match their design. Again, not functional, but not a bad project. Doing a little Compose clone here. Oh, hey, Alex, welcome in. So we're building sort of a UI clone for the AllTrails app. If you're unfamiliar with AllTrails, it's basically an app for finding hiking trails and parks nearby. People can rate them, provide feedback on difficulty and stuff. It's pretty cool. And here, let me show it again. Running devices. How do I? All right, hold on. Wait, did I lose connection? Oh, I did. My cable is a little tricky. But here's what it looks like. And so I've always thought this was a very pretty app. And so what I wanted to do was just try to do like a UI challenge to recreate this sort of like as closely as possible without stealing their design system necessarily, or fonts or iconography, because I don't have access to all of that. So that's what we did here. This is basically our version of this that has the same functionality. We even animate the search input text. These buttons, they're not clickable, neither is the bottom navigation. But we did make it so we can scroll through images, and scroll through, and we showed 2 different list item types. This is all in Kotlin, yes. If you want to follow along, or if you want to check it out and clone it yourself, !GitHub. Nice, there it is. It is pretty. Yeah, it's definitely very much a fun app to play around with. It's a great example of some really cool design, in my opinion. Um, I told myself I need to start learning Android. I've got a specific app idea for Android, but I have no idea how to write it. Have you built any sort of Android app before? Or are you starting from like total scratch? I mean, if you've got experience as a native iOS developer, I think that certain things are going to be confusing, but a lot carries over. You could say this about any programming language and framework, but within mobile, there's a lot that I think kind of can carry over more than we think. At least you'll know how to ask the right questions, right? You'll be like, how do I put a button on the screen and click the button? Um, yeah, Compose will feel pretty natural. So let me show, let's look at like a more specific example. So Jetpack Compose, which is our new UI framework, is very similar. It's similar to Swift UI in that it's like this declarative UI thing. Um, oh, no worries about the link. Um, yeah, I've heard of skip tools. Um, that sounds kind of cool. Um, but Compose very much reads very declarative like Swift UI does. Um, so if we look at the trail list item, which to clarify what we're looking at here, let's look at this one. So we're going to look at the code for this whole section here, which is the image and everything on top of it, plus this text right here. So let's walk through how this is built in Compose. So we have the column, which lays things out vertically. And then inside our column, we have the image container. And then we have a row, which is horizontal information, which is just the trail text and the icon button. So maybe do I have a preview of this? I do, nice. So here, this is the row, this group of text and then this button. And I've split them up into smaller functions so that it's this readable. So we can look at this chunk of code here, and we can see the layout of the component at a high level. We've got the image container, and then we've got the trail info and the icon button, which here we could even pull out to be more clear, which is, say, we'll call it the download button. Is what's going on. And if you dig into these, you can then see what they're really doing. So the image container is a box, which is just a regular container that has the trail images, the bookmark icon, and then the pager indicator. Trail images themselves, this is a horizontal pager, so that's how we get that nice like scrolling functionality. It becomes there's definitely a bit of a learning curve, and I'm oversimplifying it. But once you sort of get that learning curve and you understand the basic building blocks, it's very declarative and sort of clear to follow it down step by step and like see what the whole structure looks like. But I haven't yet, but I do plan to upload the recordings from these different AllTrails streams onto YouTube if you want to follow along, but also feel free to check out the YouTube channel. I have a whole bunch of content from past streams and a few other individual videos, some things on like architecture discussions and stuff. I have not uploaded in a while. I need to get back to it. But there's also tons of resources out there. You don't have to use all of my videos, but I hope that it goes well. And if you do want any help, you're welcome in stream anytime. But also feel free to reach out to me on any of the social sites if you're also on them. And I'm always happy to help folks out. Are you comfortable sharing what your app idea is? Out of curiosity. Thanks. I think I'm gonna stop here for this. Like, I mean, unless, but It was mostly just to see how close we could get. There was another one. Um, Give me 1 sec because I don't want to screen share this really quick. I think another one that would be fun to do on stream or maybe on like a YouTube video is this. Um, is I saw this a while ago, apparently, last year, but this designer on Twitter made this like YouTube redesign idea. Um, and I thought this was really pretty, and it's very close to it uses material components, so it would be very easy to um attempt something like this. And I like that they have like a light and dark mode comparison. Um, but there's a couple interesting things here, like a slider right here. Yeah, I think it would be an interesting one. So this might be a future Compose Challenge idea. Have you ever heard of test flight? Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of test flight. I've used similar things on sort of Android and iOS. Um, I assume you want to build a better version of it, or you want to build like an Android equivalent. Place for developers to share their beta versions to allow users to find it easier. I like that idea. I like that idea. So, like, correct me if I'm oversimplifying it, but like, okay, yeah, you said a beta app store, and I was like, an app store, but targeted for testers. Like, that's the idea. Um, I like that a lot. Um, yeah, go ahead. You can share the link. I'm okay with that. Um, I like that idea because literally, Hockey app existed for Android too, if I'm not mistaken. Um, this is cool. So, have you already built? Um, Nice. Okay, yeah. So this is like some iOS stuff. Yeah, I think this is pretty cool. Microsoft bought and killed it. Sounds like a big tech company. I saw a great tweet a while ago that was like, developers make fun of Google, but all they do is spend a bunch of money on a side project that they eventually give up and kill it. And who does that sound like? It's not like when you link your betas inside your app. However, it's not inside your app. It's inside my. Ah, there you go. That's the that's the trick. I feel like Apple has adjusted certain rules. Like, I know the DroidCon app used to have tons and tons of issues where, like, they would get their app rejected from Apple because it had the word droid in it. And they were like, we're not doing that. Um, it's funny. All right. I think, I know Alex just showed up, but I think we're still going to wrap up there. Um, I will not be live next Wednesday because I'll be traveling back from Michigan, but I'll see if I can do next Thursday or Friday because the streams have been going well recently. So I do want to try to keep sticking to once a week as much as I can. Um, and I think what I would like to do is go raid Widow if she's still alive. Yo, thank you for the follow. That's also 1,301 followers. What a huge milestone tonight. Thanks, Joe and Alex, for getting me over the 1,300 milestone. Um, really appreciate all of you. Um, cannot believe the stream has grown that much. Let's get the raid going. And also, yeah, for my Rocket League fans out there, RLCS is next week. I'll be tuning in. Hope y'all love it. Oh yeah, because there's a new competitive season of Rocket League in the game, and there's a new map and everything. But we're gonna go head over to Widow in a second. And yeah, I will also, just to make sure y'all have this, follow me on all the social sites if you're not already. Do stay in touch. Always happy to chat outside of stream and things like that. All right, let's go. I'll see y'all next time.